What's up, everyone? It's Dakota, and welcome back to another video. And just this past weekend at Gen Con, we got a look into the 2024, year of Magic sets and product releases coming out. And I wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on them because why wouldn't I want to do that? There's some cool product in here. There's some stuff that I personally like just because I like some of the franchises, as there's only like two outside, Universe Beyond, scheduled for 2024 as of the looks of it, and some details from some of the future sets coming up as well. So I just kind of want to give a general overview of, I guess, for what I necessarily remember, some of the things I like, and maybe some things I dislike if I come up with them, because really I kind of like the direction that everything's going. So before I get into that, of course, if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to support me and my content, I do mostly modern and pioneer content with some stuff like this. And if any of that stuff interests you, please consider subscribing, ring the notification bell so you know when those videos get posted. And while you're here, you might as well go down to the description of this video and follow the two links that I have. One goes to the Discord server where I'm set up for just modern pioneer stuff. Really any sort of general Magic content and stuff. I really enjoy talking with people, and there's been quite a few people that ended up joining, and I have some really good conversations with them, and I would love to have some really good conversations with you as well. On top of that, there's also a link to my Twitch channel. Go ahead, follow me over there so get notified when I go live on Twitch. So the year of 2024, initially off the rip, when I saw this graphic and then I saw the kind of announcement and everything of it, super pumped for the Fallout and Assassin's Creed Universes Beyond stuff. Fallout is easily one of my favorite video game franchises, probably top 5. Assassin's Creed, while not really a series that I've devoted as much time to as Fallout, is still really cool to kind of see the world of Assassin's Creed, because I think a lot of parallels can already be drawn from Magic currently to the lore and stuff like that of Assassin's Creed. Obviously not directly, but just the idea of that kind of world being set in a Magic world is kind of it should have already been a thing that happened, and of course with the Adventures of the Forgotten Realms stuff and some of the other universes beyond that we got. It's cool seeing these two franchises show up for 2024, and I'm excited to see beyond that we get Final Fantasy, which is another franchise that I'm not super familiar with in terms of a series that I have played as much as I have Fallout. It is still really cool seeing a set based on probably one of the most popular RPG franchises not named Pokemon is getting a Universes Beyond as well, which of course is not shown here. I didn't really want to go over some of the stuff more in the future, just because there's not too much details regarding all that stuff. Aside from that, we have Ravnica Remastered. We have Murders at Karlov Manor, which is based on the plane of Ravnica, but doesn't really focus too much around the guilds and stuff, which I think isn't going to go over very well with some of the other players, just because a lot of the reason why people like going to Ravnica is just showing off their guild pride and everything. And with that said, I'm sure it'll probably be a banger. Everything in Ravnica is always done very well, and I think shifting the focus away from guilds and more of this murder mystery kind of thing is going to help maybe draw in some new players. I believe this coincides with them teaming up with the creators of Clue and their 75th anniversary, coming up as well. So it'll be kind of a nice crossover in that realm, while also giving Magic players something new with the Ravnica setting that is not just all about guilds and stuff like that. I think is going to be really cool. I believe Ravnica Remastered is also one of the arena things, so just kind of getting more cards into arena for Explorer and Historic and all those other formats there. Fallout, and like we just said, is a Universes Beyond thing. It's going to be a commander set. If there is going to be a commander pre-con deck that I end up buying with the intent on actually playing, Fallout might actually be the one, just because again, really be a huge fan of the franchise. Outlaws of Thunder Junction is supposed to be based around some of the, villains of like the multiverse and things like that, and kind of bring them all into one plane or like just into one story, which I think is really neat because a lot of storytelling, I think, in a lot of the sets is good guys do something, bad guys are up to just good guy bad guy like complex, and we're just trying to we're like in the middle of the conflict, stuff like that. And I think this, while obviously there could be room for conflict amongst villains, I mean, I think that would be, almost a given at this point. I think is really interesting the dynamic of like antagonist on antagonist rather than like protagonist and antagonist. So definitely look forward to that, and what we could see potentially from a set based around the villains of the multiverse. It's gonna be really cool. Um, I said that the mergers of Karlov Manor might be, pretty received poorly and potentially controversial, and Modern Horizons 3 might be the most controversial set released in the form in Magic for 2024, mainly because Modern Horizons gets a bad rap for destroying the modern format, and I think at times, yes, some cards just go too far. I think that's what happens when you have a set that is based on getting cards into the modern format, and like really, if you subtract like Hogak, and Astrolabe, and then you have like some of like the shenanigans you can have with like some of the pitch elementals and like Ragavan. Really, a lot of the cards that Modern Horizons has introduced has been very good for the format, and I think with those cards played in like a fair way and not just absolutely busted, the way like the player base gets to them, I think these cards are generally fine. Having a creature that you could play and ends up being an unmask is fine. I think having a pyrokinesis as like a creature is fine. I think those things are okay. They just get a lot worse when you allow the format and like the players and stuff to do kind of these super twisted and busted things with them. Of course, that's what's going to happen when you have competitive players. They're going to try to find the very best deck they can play and how to break mechanics that you print into the format, even though they're obviously meant to be a lot of fun. And I think Modern Horizons 3 we could see another like possibly Ragavan or Hogak level card. Obviously, very likely considering the last two have had some amount of them. But overall, I think Modern Horizon sets are home runs. They're good for the format. They end up like reprinting, some of the other cards that are like needed for the format, and just end up bringing like really cool archetypes and stuff to the forefront. So I'm actually quite interested to see what Modern Horizons does for Modern, and hopefully that maybe the power level is a little bit more controlled, but I'd rather see it push and then we just kind of fix things as we go along rather than like the set just be a total dud and maybe like one card sees fringe play in a set that is based on putting cards into the format. Assassin's Creed, again, went over it. Pretty cool. Universes Beyond. It just, I think, kind of fits like the, what Magic has already done with like assassins, rogues, and things like that. So definitely cool to see a product that just kind of fits into like a niche and like a style within, Magic. Just kind of in the same way that like Fallout can kind of like fit into its own little niche within the Magic multiverse. Bloomburrow and Duskmourn House of Horror are two new sets, and of course, like I can't really remember, but look, it's a hamster fighting a wolf. How is that not cool? And we have like some weird moth lady that looks like she is just, I don't know, ready to like burst on fire. But these sets are supposed to be coming at the end of quarter 3 of 2024. These are continuations of the story, and yeah, I mean, looks pretty cool. I mean, Bloomburrow is, I believe, based on a new plane, so it's going to be kind of cool to get a new place for a story to take place. Always a good thing. Duskmourn, I'm not exactly sure, but anything that's like horror themed, especially like nowadays with better artists and things like that. I'm not saying that old artists are bad, not at all, but just the more horror type artistry is definitely something that I really like to see. Like some of my favorite cards are kind of like the macabre and darker side of like Magic and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see really just like the art and really what comes out of Duskmourn House of Horror, just strictly based off the name of the set. And overall, like to kind of wrap it all up, I'm really excited for 2024. Definitely some cool, supplemental products. Again, like the Fallout and Assassin's Creed, like Universe Beyond stuff. Super cool. Super pumped to see what they do with that and how they tie it into the Magic multiverse. Definitely love some of the new stuff that they're doing with the Ravnica sets. Not really focusing on the guilds, but more focusing on kind of like a murder mystery type thing with, a hinting and like a splashing of like guilds and what they do and things like that. Of course, always a big fan of Arena, getting more cards to try to play more of the formats that are played in paper rather than it just being a mostly digital platform with minimal applications to paper Magic. Modern Horizons 3, of course, like we knew this was probably going to happen. Part of me wishes that they would also do like Modern Master sets like they used to, or so they do like full reprint sets. But if Modern Horizons brings some amount of reprints while also keeping the format fresh, I can live with it. And of course, these two new sets, Bloomburrow and Duskmourn as well, just super hyped. It's literally a hamster fighting a wolf. How can you be upset about that? But that's going to do it for me in this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you know when videos get posted. And of course, links in the description down below. Follow us as well. Join the Discord server. Follow me on Twitch. All that fun, happy stuff. That's going to do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.